I've prepared the questions that were most commonly asked in the sales process, as I thought it'd be a good way for anyone who's interested about learning about Oaks Lab to hear these questions answered directly from the CEO. So let's get started. Let's start with who we are. So how many years have we been in business for, and what does our track record look like?
We started the company in July 2016, so a couple months from now, it's going to be our 10-year anniversary. Um, and in terms of our track record, so when we founded the company, we actually specialized in serving non-technical first-time founders that needed to get their MVP to market. And then over the years, as our startup founder clients achieved multiple successes, raised their Series A, Series B, Series C rounds, we then kind of evolved and matured as a company to not only support super early stage startups, but actually specialize in helping companies that have reached the Series A go through the big scale phases. So started super early stage, now focusing on kind of more growth stage companies as they mature and grow.
So if you look at our company today, what's the overall size? How many people are in the team? And then what's the structure of that team?
Yeah, so there's 90 of us here at Oaks Lab. We're on track to get to about 100 people by the end of the year. And the way that we've designed the company is that we have different teams of cross-functional people. So product managers, designers, engineers, QA, each working as one group for every single client. And we work on between 10 and 15 clients at a time. For us, it's really important to focus on quality over quantity. So the way that we've really scaled as a company over the years is we've grown vertically in the projects rather than kind of horizontally in terms of the amount of projects that you've added to our portfolio. And then we have a leadership team that sits above these 10 to 15 teams working on the projects, each specializing in their own domain. So product, design, engineering, QA, but also other aspects of running the business like sales, marketing, finance, people, and so forth.
We talked about these teams that are working in a dedicated way with each client. What's the smallest team and what's the largest team?
We're quite flexible with our team composition. You know, we're here to serve our clients and we design the teams based on their needs. So there are some clients that we work with where we actually start by just deploying one or two engineers into their org to prove our quality, showcase our value, and then grow the team from there. But then we also have clients that we work with where we have a team of 25 people pushing their product forward, owning a whole domain of their product. So we're quite flexible. It just really depends on what our clients need.
And what makes the culture at Oaks Lab different, or maybe better phrased, what does it feel like for a client to work with Oaks Lab?
The one thing that we've been really pushing since day one is for our clients to feel like we are not an outsourced vendor, but we are an in-house team. So I would say our clients feel like we care about their product as much, if not sometimes even more than they do. And we take our position in their company really, really seriously. So that's been something that we've been able to successfully implement from day one and run with it till now. From a broader perspective, talking about our culture, we've been quite proactive in designing the best culture that we feel fits our type of company, meaning building software startups that go from ideation all the way to scale. And that is finding the right balance and blend of being results first, heavy performance, trying to achieve the best possible goals with the highest ambition, but complementing that with also creating an environment that's friendly, open, positive, and making our people feel appreciated. And I feel like that balance has allowed us to run at a really fast pace for 10 years.
So let's get into how we work. What development methodology do we follow and why?
So we run on dual track agile, where each sprint, our teams are focused on two tracks. One track is the discovery track, where we're identifying what do we need to build in the next sprint that will drive the highest business value. And then in the next track, we're delivering. It's called the delivery track, where we're basically delivering what we've discovered in the previous sprint. And that's our way of just making sure that every single sprint, we're delivering value to the business and our clients get ROI on their investment of working with us.
So when a client approaches us, do we typically build off of some specs that they approach us with? Or how involved are we in the process of actually discovering what they're going to end up building?
Pretty much every single client comes to us with a clear vision of what they want to accomplish. Now, in reality, what we end up building most of the time is a little bit different from what they actually came to us wanting to build. And the reason for that is in the initial stages, we really try and pressure test their scope to make sure that what we build really achieves the end business outcomes that they're looking to accomplish with us. And the reason why we do it is we see ourselves as a business partner first, a technology partner second, because at the end of the day, we're building this software to accomplish some sort of business goal.
Do clients like that pushback?
The thing is, the type of companies we work with consists of people that are trying to build successful businesses. So they really understand why we're pressure testing it and understand that it's not coming from a place that we want to challenge them, but it's coming from a place that we want to achieve the best outcome. And so most of the time, our clients actually really appreciate that, because what we then end up doing together with them is shaping a product strategy that achieves success. So most of the time, it's not an issue. Where it is an issue, of course, we see ourselves as a service partner, but at the same time, I'm really proud of the relationships we've been able to form with all of our clients, because when they don't trust us, maybe in the beginning, we earn that trust really quickly. So the situations where that pushback can come from, it's usually just coming back from not having full trust in our organization because they haven't gotten to know us yet. But once they get to know us, they see how we work, they see the quality of the teams, how we think, how we build products, that trust factor goes out the window, and we build a really strong relationship where we can help shape the business.
From a technology perspective, what technologies do we specialize in?
So we made a decision quite early on, and I would say it's one of the best decisions we've made as a company. Our former CTO at the time made this decision to go full stack JavaScript. So when we made this decision, I would say it was like in 2017, where React and Node.js were still early technologies. They've been on the market obviously for a few years before then, but they weren't the default go-to framework to kind of build software products. For people that were in the industry at the time, there's multiple different tech stacks that people could go for. There were fragmented developer communities. And at the time, we had to actually really justify why we chose that tech stack to a lot of our clients. But over the years, we've actually been proven right. It has become the default tech stack for building software companies. So React on the front end, Node.js on the back end, now Next.js and TypeScript. And now it's one of the most popular development languages. And one reason why it's important that we made that decision is we build for the long term. And when our clients come to us, their desire is to build a software product that really scales, and therefore their team will need to scale with it. And so we want to think with foresight when we create a partnership with our clients and make sure that they have a big talent pool to then hire from to support that technology as it scales. And this tech stack that we've chosen is so widely popular that it's easy to hire from, and it's not this obscure framework or language that only a few people know in Prague, but it's a global language that a lot of developers know and our clients can hire from.
So let's get into the question that everyone's been waiting for. AI.
Give me a first.
How does our use of AI affect the cost and timeline?
So our goal is to be the number one option for the clients that we work for. What we mean by number one option is better than hiring anyone on the market, better than any other company that they can outsource to, basically being the best group of people that they can hire to get the job done. And of course, in 2026, we use AI, and I see AI as a huge opportunity for not only being faster, but also improving the quality. So we at Oaks Lab have a group of people called the AI Steering Group. And the AISG at Oaks Lab routinely evaluates all the different technologies that are being created and updated on the market because it's such a fast and dynamic space. And we need to be really monitoring all the improvements so that we're at the leading edge. So we evaluate all these technologies. And then this group experiments with the different changes that are out there, pilots them out on different projects, and then once they've been proven to actually add real measurable value, not just a very shallow tweet that shows that, hey, I've done this in AI, but then when you dive a little bit deeper, there's nothing, no substance to it, but actually real tangible value that's been proven on our projects. Then we add it to our software development lifecycle and then deploy it across all of our projects. Now, one thing that I want to mention is when working with AI, it's really important to be able to have the flexibility to experiment, but a lot of people forget about the security aspect. And we're working with really highly regulated industries where security is non-negotiable. And so our teams take that quite seriously in how we evaluate and use the tools to make sure that there's not only the efficiency gain, but also the security is taken into consideration.
So when a client approaches us, how long does it typically take to get a product to market? And has that changed pre-AI and post-AI in the development process?
Absolutely. It's crazy because things that would take months, even a year and a half ago, now can take days and weeks. But the thing that stayed constant actually is our goal with building a product for our client is to come up with the true MVP. So basically, what is that minimum scope that will allow our clients to achieve their goals with the software that we can deliver as quickly as possible? So that goal has stayed constant, but now with AI, the time frame has just really decreased. That's something that we've been able to do quite effectively. To give you a few practical examples, a very similar software product that we actually just released this previous summer, so about 9 months ago, the same size project, very similar scope. It took us 4 months to deliver, and now it took us about 4 weeks. So there you can kind of see how the time has shrunk. The thing is, when we use AI to build the products, a lot of the time it can also not only decrease the development time, but also the discovery time. So yeah, there's efficiency gains across the board. The time is just shrinking and shrinking. That's really exciting because we can get to market faster, validate ideas quicker, and then build more over an extended period of time. So super exciting.
You talked about this at the beginning, that we're working with many companies in the Series A through E phases, where they already have a large in-house product development deal, and then we collaborate, then we partner with them. How do we typically work with their in-house team?
So going back to one of the first questions that you asked, we love to see ourselves as if we're their in-house team or an extension of their in-house team. So by default, we're quite flexible. We want to assimilate into their organization and definitely in the beginning, not change anything. So from every angle of the partnership, we're flexible. We're flexible in the tool stack. So if they use Teams over Slack, we will go for Teams. If they use a different task management tool than Jira, we will switch to their tool. And then when looking at just the team composition, again, if they want us to plug into their existing team, we follow their ceremonies, their process, their structure. However, once we get ownership of a part of the product and we can really own it end to end. So the discovery and delivery process end to end, that's where we can then start showing our product development process at Oaks Labs that's been battle tested now on 65 different software product builds. And at that point, we can then start sharing those learnings on a more tactical level across their org, and sometimes actually level up their organization, get them a little bit more tighter, a little bit more organized, and most importantly, being able to deliver measurable value across the board.
So when you're working with an outsourced partner or with an external partner, the partnership model can range from staff augmentation through dedicated teams or just taking on short-term project-based work. Where does Oaks Labs fall on this range?
Where we are strongest as a company is owning either part of the product or even the entire product end to end. That's where we're strongest. So therefore, when we deploy a team that owns product discovery, design, scoping, delivery, testing, the whole thing. However, we're also flexible, and we can come in and just deploy a few roles into their org. Typically, the kind of billing model that we have and the way that we work with our clients is we charge a fixed price per team member per month that is flatlined or scales up and down based on their need. And we can start with just a few roles or have a full team that is working towards a certain outcome.
Looking at the last few years, what do you feel are our most successful partnerships?
So I'm proud of a lot of the companies we've built, especially in the last few years, because the traction that they're getting is really, really exciting. Sadly, I can't mention some companies by name, but I can give you a little bit of a broader description of what they do. So one of our flagship clients that we're really proud to have been able to serve now for 4 years, going from Series A all the way through Series C, is a fintech company, to keep it high level, to help people buy and sell shares of privately owned companies, and some of the most exciting privately owned companies too, like OpenAI or SpaceX. And there we've helped them really build a really exciting product and an innovative solution that is actually changing the way employees liquidate their shares in secondary markets.
Well, we've also just helped one of our clients cross the 1 billion mark in revenue. Can you talk about that one a little bit?
Yeah, that's also an exciting one. This is, I would say, one of the fastest growing companies in the healthcare space, founded by some really impressive people. And what they do is, through the technology that we're helping them build, deploy telehealth medicine to the most remote parts of the US. And we're helping them serve over 3 million patients. They've been able to achieve $1 billion in revenue last year. It's a really high growth company with some really exciting things coming and some intense pressure that we're ready to take on.
Last question, looking into the future, where do you see Oaks Lab heading in the next couple of years?
We've always been about quality first, then quantity. And we don't have any outside investors pushing the company in a direction that we don't feel comfortable in, but we're very, very ambitious. And so where we see the company in the future, where I see it, and hopefully I'm speaking for you as well here, we want to play in the first league of startup companies. This is a message that I just keep on reiterating to our team and our different all hands and our strategy sessions. And what the first league of startups really means to me is the companies that are the North Star. So imagine you're starting a software startup right now and you call it, I want to be the Uber of. So those are the companies that we want to be working with, that people use as an analogy to describe their company. And I think we're on track to do it. We're making great progress. And what gives me the confidence is we've been able to steer some companies from pre-seed all the way to Series C. And so that next step is where we're all working towards. And we have the team to get there. We're super motivated. We're hungrier as ever. And I think we're on track to make it.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time. I hope it was helpful for everyone to hear the answers to these questions. And yeah, let's make this year a big year.
Let's go. All right, that's the